For Rebel News here in Whitby, Ontario, I'm Tamara Ugolini at the Canadian Christian College for an event put on by Canadians for Truth. It's being called What's Next? The Future of Health and Medicine, and it features keynote speakers like internist and cardiologist Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Mark Trosi, and statistician and author Regina Whittiel. So we're going to see what the attendees and some of those speakers have to say on the inside as they give key analysis into what the future of health and wellness really looks like. Let's head in.
This analysis by Mead, who's a former National Institutes of Health writer, concludes with hundreds and hundreds of references that the risks of heart damage with the vaccine far outweigh any theoretical risk with the COVID illness. In fact, the COVID virus has never caused myocarditis proven by autopsy, only the vaccine.
What made you come out to this event? What's next? The future of health and medicine.
So a big thing for me and my wife is basically vaccine awareness. So both of us weren't vaccinated. We were heavily discriminated against in everything, in work, even when we were trying to cross the border to visit our family in the States. It was horrible, especially coming back to your own country after you've been some time and treated like a foreign agent. It was ridiculous. So this is basically about trying to figure out, next steps, where we go from here, especially now that we have our little 5-month-old daughter. So thinking about how this is going to play out in Canada.
Future of health and medicine, hopefully, is that we become more awake to the challenges that we are finding and choosing other healthy ways of dealing with our illnesses. And it's not always through medicine. And the doctors here today are sharing their experience and their expertise.
So I wanted to come to this event because I live locally, and of course I wanted to be around like-minded. I want to be in unity with people who we share similar values. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, so I believe that we aren't pharmaceutical deficient or vaccination deficient, and I believe in building strong bodies. And I chose to have a strong body and a healthy body, so that's why I'm here. And I won't be pushed into pharmaceuticals.
I've been thinking about freedom stuff since the time I woke up around the time when COVID hit. We noticed that there were some videos explaining things and then they disappeared. And then a friend of mine who does this kind of stuff on her computer, she would repost it under a new title and then it would be there for a day or two and it would disappear again. That's when I woke up.
Here you have this Say No to Bill C-293, yes. Canada's Pandemic Prevention Preparedness Act. Why was it important for you to be here at this event, the future of health and medicine, What's Next with Dr. McCullough?
Well, it's important to try and get the word out about this bill and how bad this bill is for Canada, and granting extraordinary powers to one unelected person who is essentially representing the WHO.
I think what becomes very obvious from my work and me going back and forth to the institutions is that they're not going to back down, that you do have capture in these institutions, and we will need a large grassroots movement to basically see change. So I think that we're going to have to move in that direction. Also, one of the reasons I keep clinging to this particular case of fraud is because I believe that it is a very, very solid case. It shows intent to deceive individuals, and I believe that this case is our best bet of bringing in protections against future mandates. So I think that's really what we have to do. I would like to see some investigations happening with the police. Maybe I will revisit that going forward.
I mean, we're in a war. Anyone seeing it as less than that is pleasantly delusional. And so in war, you can't predict exactly what's next. We know what they're planning. We know what they're doing. I mean, so things that are on an immediate issue. The Trudeau regime is trying to pass Bill C-293, which is a tyrannical sellout of Canada and authority over everything, from the grass to the sky to the people to the bodies to the assets, everything. Meanwhile, the UN is organizing the Summit of the Future, which is happening within a week or two. And that is, like the WHO did, where the director of the WHO could say medical emergency and become the dictator of the world in many ways. Well, now the UN under Antonio Guterres is doing that for many things, for 10 different, it's funny that the acronym is FAKES, but public, it's basically crises. What are we doing? Well, we're hoping that the judges in this country, we've seen some shimmers of judges actually doing their job, of actually putting the survival of their grandchildren over their pensions or over going along with this corruption. We're expecting them to do more of that. We expect justice. We expect people to go to prison. People currently in higher offices have committed malfeasance, fraud, negligence, mass homicide. And at this point, now that the evidence that I present, they have that. They know that. So they can snow job the Canadians with the CBC propagandists. It doesn't change the facts that are real.
What are some things, your key takeaways thus far, what you've heard today? Sorry to interrupt your regular programming, but certain views expressed in this report can't go on certain censorious platforms. If you would like to view the report in full, then click on the description box and follow the link below to find that full report, or just head on over to Rumble and find our full uncensored reports over there. That's Rebel News on Rumble. I'll see you over on the uncensored side.